All right, what is going on, you guys? Happy Friday, happy weekend. We are here and we are getting to the final stretch here because today we are opening the third box of the Lego 10294, the Lego Titanic. And I've been looking back and I think we started this thing about a little over 2 weeks ago. So it's been like I've been taking my time with this thing, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to build because I've been enjoying it, to say the least. Before we get started here, just want to do a quick shout out to some folks. I want to give a shout out to Justin and Jordan out there, and I want to give a shout out to Deepa and her kids over there. Just a couple of people I know out in the real world. So thank you guys if you all are tuning in. Just wanted to give a quick shout out. But anyway, let's do a recap of what we've done here. We've got box 1 and 2 pretty much wrapped up, and it's kind of back here in the background. But I'll tell you, this thing is gigantic in person. Like, I've got to say, now that it's at my level, you can yeah, you can kind of see the scale of this thing. So the second box was this gigantic middle half here, and let's see, I've never done this before, so let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try and take the second part out. Okay, so one Technic pin, and you're supposed to just slide out, and that was pretty easy. Okay, that was pretty good. First time, and it was on camera. Went kind of without a hitch. So, giving you a quick tour here of the box 2. What we had gone over here. We've got kind of at the bow section of the ship. We've got the coal room, and what's cool about the coal room is you got the little kind of holes here to indicate where they were actually shoving the coal out of the coal storage. And they've got all the decks accounted for, decks F through A, and man, they're in really, really beautiful detail. Like I can't stress how crazy nutty this thing is. In the back here, we've got some gaps. That's where the engines are going to go. So we've kind of got nothing going on here, but they've still captured the detail with the remaining decks up above the engine. So I cannot wait to get over here and start building the stern of the ship. I think the stern is definitely going to be my favorite part. So far, the best part of the ship has definitely got to go to the bow. And I think the section is maybe a little bit more of the boring part of the ship, but you kind of really see how when I bring it up to my level over here, how gigantic this Titanic grows. It's huge. I can't explain the scale of this thing here, okay? So anyway, recapping the bow here, we've got decks F through A again, and you've got the front part of the boilers here, sorry. Amazing detail. It's looking good. Yeah, so this is definitely the best part so far, the bow. So let's go ahead and put this thing together and get right onto box 3. And okay, yeah, so far it comes apart really easily, and no drama. Wow, no drama. Locks in just like that. So we're gonna put this thing back here. Okay, in the background, it's gonna lurk over there. And yeah, as of now, we are still looking sold out. I think they kind of come and go on the stores if you actually check your store. I did notice too that Lego took away their in-store stock checker. I don't know if that's like that nationwide or just in certain areas, but yeah, so you can't even check online the status on the store anymore. But yeah, keep trying. They come in every once in a while. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get out box 3. So box 3, like all the other boxes, indicates what portion of the ship you're going to be building. So that's showing the stern over there. Got a nice cross section of it here, and a rear view. Oh, so it's kind of like representing the section when you're looking at it. It's got the actual stern here, and then the cross section, which would be the front side of it. So that's pretty cool. All right. And these boxes, like, they're really well done. I mean, I like how they went with the kind of minimalistic, gold on black font over here. So go ahead and dump this out. I'm assuming there's going to be another manual in here, or a folder type thing in here, like we've got with all the other boxes. I don't want to hit my keyboard because I'm going to end this stream. Okay, we've got it, and just like with all the other boxes, we've got our kind of nice and neat folder here. I don't think we have any more decals coming. We've got all the decals in box 1, I believe. Or not decals, I mean flags. So I don't think we're gonna need that. Let's put the box away and get started. So we've got a little bit of information here. Starting off, we've got, though the RMS Titanic boasted many advanced safety features, outdated maritime safety regulations dictated. Oh yeah, so they're talking about the lifeboats. So Titanic only had 20 lifeboats, and that's because the mandates at the time only required 20 lifeboats, but those mandates were really old, and the rate at which the ships were growing, the mandates were not really adequate to cover the really huge ships they were coming out with by the time Titanic was out. So basically they had been going with old regulations for the lifeboats, so they basically said, well, it says 20 lifeboats, so we're going to put 20 lifeboats, even though that rule was really meant for smaller boats back in the day. So okay. Like always, guys, we have absolutely no rhyme or reason here. So, I'm assuming we're starting with bag 29 here. And right here we've got a photo of the presumed location of the disaster, with ironically a picture of an iceberg. So I think I don't know if they're really saying that that's the actual iceberg or not. One cool thing about this set is that the Titanic, the Lego Titanic, is built to the same scale as the Lego Architecture Statue of Liberty, as you can see right there on the screen. So that's really cool. I was actually thinking about getting the Statue of Liberty already. So knowing that it's the same scale as the Titanic makes it even more appealing. You know, you can kind of display them side by side. Kind of portray what was never meant to be. Titanic never really arriving in New York like it was supposed to. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know where they got that little whale. I think they just built it for the manual, but that's pretty cool. Alright. Okay, we're finally moving along, folks. Finally moving along. So the real Titanic was 882 feet. I think this is a 1/200 scale of the Titanic. Correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, the Lego Titanic is the longest set that they've ever made, for sure. We're going to start with now the funnel and the engine room, and look at how the hull starts tapering back here. So that's going to be real cool. Real nice detail going on. Okay, getting started. Gotta get the rhythm going, so to say. So yeah, I think what's been kind of interesting is that for each bag, the I guess each section is really built in 2 sections. So you're almost building, you know, except for the front. I think you're building 1, 2, 3. You're building really 5 sections if my count is right here. So that's pretty cool. So that's the same with this stern section. It's going to be kind of a, it's going to be pretty much a 2-section build. But we kind of already see that the hull is starting to taper off. One boring thing about box 2 is that the hull is kind of just straight. It's just one gigantic block of hull. So there's not really that great of a shape going on down there. But I think the really good shape on this Lego Titanic set is definitely towards the back, definitely towards the stern here. The bow's got a little bit going on, but I think the stern is going to be my favorite section by far with this set. But we'll see if that holds true. I'm pretty set with that. I'm pretty set with that. So we've been building this thing for what, 2 weeks now, and I have I have no idea. Yeah, really no idea still where this is gonna go. So we've kind of just been building it. Not really a plan here in place. It's been kind of showing up in different parts of the house. Kind of just sitting on random tables here and there, getting a feeler for how the family, how the other half is reacting to it here. But yeah, I might have to put a shelf. I'm thinking ideally it's gonna go like right on this wall behind me, like maybe a shelf here with this Titanic, and maybe like a long 1/200 scale portrait, or like a side portrait of the Titanic right above it. So I don't know if that might be going a little bit too overboard, but I don't know. I'm all out of ideas at this point. Might also go in my garage. That's like the only kind of display space I have over there. But I kind of like to reserve the garage, you're right, for more automotive kind of decor, so to say. So I don't think this is gonna fit in there very well. So I'm wondering at what stage we're going to be building. What stage we're going to be building the engines. I wonder if that comes at the beginning or the end here. So I really want to see the detail on those. Okay. Moving on. I really do want to see this thing take shape today, though. I wonder how high we can get. Wonder how high we can get. So yeah, they've also gotten starting to see some of these 2022 sets come out, and I've already, kind of got my eye on some of them. I actually picked up a set like 2 days ago. I had no idea existed. I was just kind of at Kohl's the other day, and I saw this Star Wars. Man, I don't even know what to call it. They changed the name now, so I'm scared to call it what it's really called. But the Slave One, also known as Boba Fett's starship. So honestly, I had no idea this thing existed. I know they had previous versions, but I didn't know they had a recent version. So pick that up. Hopefully I can do, yeah, I'll do a live build on that too. We'll see. But looks like a really cool set. I definitely missed out on the UCS versions, or the UCS and the 20th anniversary version. So maybe that one will hold me until they come out with a newer, bigger Boba Fett starship. All right. Getting into this nitty-gritty, like, hull underside stuff. But it's all good, we'll get past it. Alright, moving along. Nothing yet, guys. I guess I definitely see where the last half of the engines are going right here. moving along. Yeah, I'm trying not to trying not to lose my concentration here with all of these like little random pieces that don't make sense to me right now. But we got it. We got it. Anyway, so yeah, I lost my train of thought with all of this stuff going on. But 2022, definitely looking at the modular. Don't know what that thing is called, but it looks really cool. It's the hotel, right? The boutique hotel, I think, is what it's called. And definitely have my eye on that. I don't know if that's gonna be a day one for me or not, just because I would want to get it at day one, but I've been going way overboard with the Legos, I must admit. So might you know, let things die down a bit and pick it up when I can, but definitely want to get the modular. I'm also, yeah, the police station. Sorry, I'm scrambling here, but yeah, the police station I skipped out on. It's still out, and I think the police station, I think that's gonna be, I think I'm gonna end up totally skipping on that. It's a cool looking modular, but it wasn't jiving with me somehow. I don't know. I think it was kind of like it was kind of a weird blend of really nice kind of pastel colors, but then you've got like the weird kind of like New York billboard thing going on with it. So I don't know. There's just something about it. It's a really cool set. Don't get me wrong, but maybe not. I wasn't jiving with it for some reason. But this new boutique hotel, that's gonna be a must-have for me there. And yeah. So by the way, it looks like we are building a motor right from the get-go. So this is pretty awesome. I think this is what is supposed to be the electrical, one of the generators on the ship, or the electrical generator on the ship. And yeah, this is actually really cool because I think this is something that we are not gonna be seeing like ever once we put this thing in the boat here. I think it's kind of like a hidden feature that we're not gonna be really seeing again. So I think that's what we're doing now. I'm like rolling over bags here. So that's really cool. Like, so we've got all these kind of like Technic gears inside. You built all of that, dropped it, and yeah, they kind of packed that detail in there. I think this is the one we're not gonna ever see again. So that's pretty cool. Kind of got that out of the way right from the get-go. Okay. Ah, we got it. Okay. All right, look at that. Hooks up right there. So let's read this. The Titanic's, I was right. The Titanic's electrical plant was capable of producing more power than an average city power station at the time. That's nuts. That's pretty nuts. The electrical plant was capable of producing more power than an average city power station of the time. And I mean, you had hundreds of people pumping coal into those boilers like day in, day out. I'll bet this thing produced a lot of power. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. So I was right. This is the electrical generator, and from what I believe, I think this is going to be kind of hidden away forever. Which is pretty sad, but cool at the same time. It's like, you know it's there. I know it's there. People that are looking at it won't know, but I will know. So kind of one of those cool things. I like when they do that. They did it just because they could, right? Okay. Oh, and we've got some shafts going in, okay? And I believe we're getting the shafts in that are gonna drive the propellers already. I think that is what we're doing. Pretty cool. Oops. Okay, so we might be building the engines fairly early from the get-go. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate this electrical generator. That's that's really cool. And I really wonder if it is really going to be totally hidden away forever or not, but maybe you can kind of see it from like from a crevice or whatnot, but we'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. Okay. All right, we're rolling. We're rolling. Okay. So there's that, folks. We've got the electrical generator. I'm trying to put it on display here for you guys. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go on. Let's move on. What are we doing now? Okay, so going back to 22 sets, 2022 sets. So, okay, I said the boutique hotel. That's gonna be a must. Maybe not day one, but it's gonna be a grab for sure. Kind of like the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Just being a car nerd and also having the car Lego sets. I think that's a worthy one to have. It's pretty simple, but I think it captures the GT500 pretty well. They also chose a really nice color for the GT500. Like, you know, V color for the GT500. I've actually got a 118 with that same kind of neon green color, so I think it's going to be cool having those side by side. Another one, I think I'm going to try for the UCS. The UCS, what is it called? The not the UCS, I'm sorry. The just the ATST, the normal one. I don't have an ATST yet of any type, so I think it's going to be worthwhile to grab that ATST that's coming out. Speaking of which, I was looking today, it looks like the UCS AT-AT is back in stock. So I'm hoping that's kind of good news, because I know you guys know these holidays have not been... It's been weird, like they've had nothing in stock for the holidays. They've kind of tried to make some promos happen, but then called them off because there's nothing to sell at Lego right now. So it's weird times, y'all. But I hope there's a sign of some stock, some good things to come. I hope people are getting what they want for the holidays, and if not, it's not a big deal, guys. You know, don't get it from the scalpers. Don't do any of that crazy stuff. Just you know, just chill, and you'll be able to find one eventually. But I really do hope they improve the stock situation in general, because this has been kind of wild. Okay, where are we going now? Alright, building up. I'm glad we're at box 3, but I'm also a little bit sad at the same time, because it looks like we're just going to be starting with this like really small portion of the stern here. I hope that's not the case, but I think that's what's going on. I want to see like I want to see the rest of the stern. I want to see like how long the rest of this thing's gonna be. It's been kind of irking me, again, building this thing over the last kind of 2 weeks. I just want to know how big is this Titanic gonna be at the end of the day. I just want to know. So maybe we'll see today, maybe we won't, but we'll get as far as we can for sure. Okay, I think I got everything there. Oh yeah, I also forgot Bricklink sets. I ordered so far on the Bricklink designer program. I did order both round 1 and round 2, and I got an email saying that round 1 is supposed to be shipping soon, but I have no idea when that might be. I think it's supposed to ship in December, so I think we might be seeing a round of Bricklink designer sets coming soon. And myself, I got the fishing boat, or I think it's called the Great Fishing Boat. So I'm looking forward to see that thing come in the mail. I guess it's coming through Lego. I don't know if you guys saw the box designs. It's looking real nice and clean. Like they've got kind of a white box, nice Bricklink logo, and nice and simple. So yeah, I got the email from Lego saying that the Bricklink orders are shipping soon, but not really a date. So I'm hoping, I couldn't find a date really anywhere except for maybe one article that said they're shipping early December, which we're already pretty much late December now. So I'm hoping it's coming soon. I also don't know when the second round of Bricklink orders are coming in, but I did order those too. I ordered kind of 2 modulars from there. I got the Bricklink, the Venetian houses, and the Lego modular store. So I hope they come like at least in the first half of 2022. That would be that would be nice. But either way, I hope the fishing boat comes soon. I hope any of you guys that ordered the round 1 Bricklink designer programs, I hope you guys are getting yours in soon. Yours are going to be real cool to see on the street. I can't wait to see, you know, YouTube videos of all the round 1 designer sets. That's going to be sick. Okay, these kind of weird, like gigantic window pieces. I don't think I've seen these before. One thing I love about this build, I've mentioned it, like I think I mention it every time I'm on video here with this Titanic, but dude, like, it's so cool that this whole thing is built, well, not the whole thing, but a lot of it is built at, you know, different angles, of course, because you have the bow, the stern, right? So it's really cool that everything is built at different angles, and man, they snap together so perfectly at the end. It's just amazing how they get it all done nice and neat with all of the so many different angles going on. Yeah, we're building this frame up pretty good. Oh, I messed up near that. Definitely messed up this part. So I did notice just now that I guess each box comes with a Lego tool. So that's cool. So now I've got multiple of these laying around just from this set. Like that, we're almost at moving on to bag 30, I think. I don't know how many total there are. I think I might have said before there are 46 bags total. That's what I want to go with. I'm going to go with that. Ooh, and I'm seeing another one I missed. I missed these things right here. Okay. So one really weird part, I definitely missed it, but I missed like a huge base plate that goes on the bottom. So good thing that's not hard to get to. This huge thing here. Okay, so yeah, we've got the first bag done. We've got an electric generator that will probably, apparently we're never going to see again, but it's cool. There are actually gears in there that spin and generate power. We've got some slopes, interesting slopes going, but mostly, for the most part, it's the same old framing that we've been doing for the rest of the Titanic. So let's move on to bag 30. I hope this is it. I should have organized, but no, didn't do that. Oh man, we've got some real tedious stuff going on here. I've got the all of these little pieces here going on. What's going on with that? Okay, I've got to go dive down and find another bag 30. There's so many bags. Oh, we got it. Okay, we're good. I'm missing a 2x3 tile. It should be really easy to find. But that's not going to happen, so we're going to move on and see if we can find it later. Not the best start. It'll come up sooner or later. I found the tile. Okay, so we're getting into a little bit of more detail on the lower decks. I don't know quite where we're starting because we've got a big gap here at the engine room. Yeah, but we're getting a little bit of that floor coming in, as you guys can see over there. I really like the use of these kind of door hinges for the rooms. Pretty ingenious for this scale of build. Really good use of the parts. Yeah, these decks get like real intricate with the little pieces, so it's a little bit rough to get through these little parts here. I think I really like more the exterior parts of the ship. Definitely kind of, I'm always trying to get to what the finished kind of product is going to be at the skin level. So yeah, I can't admit this part of the build can get a little tiny bit tedious, but it's okay, we'll get through it. We'll get through it, no worries. Of course I'm always missing like one of the little pieces. Oh, there it is. Okay, moving on along here, and kind of my first impression, and I haven't really looked too much into the interior space here, but looks like kind of this portion of the ship looks kind of, I want to say, very crew quartersy, or maybe third class. They kind of look like kind of simple small beds with kind of the smaller cabins here. So I think I don't think we're building like the really fancy parts of the ship here. We're kind of doing the steerage, or third class as they called it back then. So yeah, definitely a different vibe with the rooms. They're kind of like boring, boring tan floors with just some plain old white beds. But you know, apparently for the time, you know, even steerage, this class had really, or this ship had really nice accommodations for that steerage class. So. But yeah, in terms of detail in the interior so far of the ship, I think this is maybe one of the more bland parts of it. Yeah, it's got the like tan floors, white beds, nothing really, no colors or anything really going on here. Okay, it's not the greatest part of the build, but we're getting up there slowly but surely. I did forget to put the room dividers in there. Let's go back. Alright. Starting to cover things up and get a little bit higher. And I think we're kind of starting to build the hull already here. Let's see where we go here. And I do remember, like, a lot of these hull builds are also kind of really tedious. You're kind of building a lot of like portholes and a lot of black and red kind of tiny tiles. But it's all worth it in the end. Yeah, I'm kind of like thinking about going back to how many of these little kind of, all of these like kind of micro, all these panels that we've had to put together through this whole thing. It's a lot of work, but when it comes together though, once you slap all these big side panels on and everything, it's worth it. It is a beautiful, really beautiful ship. Okay, I think I got everything. Oh yeah, these things. We're doing like the little portholes. Oh man, it's so... so tedious. But we'll get through it, folks. We'll get through it. I mean, I do appreciate it though. They could have just had some like, gave it, you know, made the portholes just like a standard brick with side studs on it. But they really went intricate, as you can see here in the instructions, making these, all the detail for these little portholes. So I do appreciate it. It's just kind of like a, it's kind of just a task to put together, especially when you've done like hundreds of these now. But it's not to say that the whole build is, it's not to say that the build is boring in any way, because they do have, it does have a lot of variety, this build. So you kind of do a lot of small tedious builds, but there's a variety of them. So I keep comparing it to Colosseum, but I wouldn't think it's like Colosseum where everything is the same color and each kind of section is almost the same. I would say that there are a lot of different kind of sections that are a little bit tedious sometimes in their own right, but there's a variety of them, so it definitely keep it still interesting throughout the whole build. So kudos to that. I'm kind of, yeah, it's kind of weird we're doing like the hull already, because typically with the other sections like box 1 and 2, they usually do cover it up at the end. So kind of getting an early start here. Kind of not knowing really where this goes yet either, but or what section this goes. Oh, got my answer. So this goes right up top. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we've already got some side of the hull going here, and I'm assuming we're gonna have to do it over again for the other side. Oh no, we do this twice. Oh man, okay, let's go back. We gotta do this twice. Doing this all over again, okay. Do a rewind here. It's okay. Come on, let's power through this. This thing really is a beautiful boat though. I mean, good gracious. Like again, it's back there. When I bring it up here, you really see the size of it, but it's definitely a majestic build, this thing. It looks great around the house too. It's like you can't miss it. And just all the colors, man. The white, the gold, the black, the red. Oh, this thing looks beautiful. If you've got one of those kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but if you've got like if you live in kind of a place that can pull it off, like you've kind of got those more traditional kind of decor, or if you've got like one of those kind of library type offices, oh man, this looks really, really great in them. I mean, it could really pass, at least for, you know, at eye's length, for a decent replica model of the Titanic, for sure. And I mean, even just for Lego format, I mean, the amount of thought and detail for all the little things. It's really, man, this thing's just on point. It's on point. Don't know what to say. Too bad it's not even micro figure scale though, which I mean, I know this thing can't be any bigger than it already is, but even to get it to micro figure scale, this thing would have to be even more massive. It's just not quite cutting it at that scale. But yeah, this thing's big enough. Don't need it to be any bigger for sure. But yeah, I mean, it looks so good. You just put it out wherever you can fit it on a table, your dining table, anything. Anyway, it just looks so good and majestic. I can't wait for the rest of this thing to be done. Oh hey, Clips Films, Melbourne. Oh wow, from Melbourne. I wonder what time it is there, but thank you for tuning in. I'm assuming it's maybe 9 in the morning over there if you are tuning in from Melbourne. But thank you. Lego Titanic, I remember watching Lego Titanic stop motion videos on YouTube. Oh yeah. When I was first watching YouTube videos back in 2007 and 2008, searching Lego ship sinking. I've seen a couple, yeah, thanks for that. I've seen a couple stop motion videos, Titanic, but I never realized to look at the date. I wonder if I've been watching the ones way back from 07 or 08. But actually, just yesterday, Clips, I found a video, a stop motion video of this guy doing like he did a Barracuda Bay. Ooh, is it Barracuda Bay Heist? I think it's called. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. That was a really good, well done stop motion video of the Barracuda, which is a really cool ship. I've actually got the Barracuda on that top shelf, but I guess you can't see it. That's a beautiful ship as well. And Clips tuning in. Oh yeah, you are from Australia. Well, thank you very much, Clips, from tuning in. I see your Clips Films. Do you do like any stop motion or any videography or anything like that? But that's cool. Yeah, thank you again for chiming in there. But yeah, if you get a chance, Clips, check out. Yeah, there's some cool stop motion called I think Barracuda Bay Heist or something like that. And I'm pretty sure one of the Lego Titanic sinking videos I've seen. They probably some older ones, but I didn't notice the date. I don't know if I don't think I've seen a stop motion yet, or kind of like a full-on stop motion with this set yet, but I'm sure someone's gonna go all out, like with a kind of all-out stop motion production with this gigantic set. It's just you know, it's not quite minifigure scale though, so I wonder how you would work it. But like I said, I don't think this thing needs to be any bigger than it already is. Wherever in your house you put it, it's kind of like whatever room you put it in, it's kind of the main attraction wherever you put this thing. So it's not gonna hide easily. So Clips Films, oh yes, you do stop motions on models and Legos. Cool. If you got anything on YouTube, I will definitely check you out after this. So but that's very cool. I was actually wondering, I don't know if you can I don't know if it's easy to explain on chat, but I was watching that Lego Barracuda stop motion yesterday, and I kind of wonder how you shoot it. I mean, do you just do like 24 frames of shots in a second and put it together or something? You know, like it looks like a lot of work. That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't know if it's something easily explainable how you kind of shoot it. I don't know if it's kind of like a time lapse, or if you're taking individual shots of it and putting it together. Okay, so Clips Films is saying, it's Thomas Linsky, Lego Titanic video. So someone did make a stop motion, okay, but it was flagged and deleted. But someone was able to find it and re-upload it. Okay, I'll check that. I'll check that out after this too. Interested to see how that is. But yeah, I'll definitely look out for more stop motions of Titanic. I've actually been watching, because of this model, just been watching more historical kind of like videos. Not just reliving the sinking, but also the going over the building of it and kind of the design that went into it. And it's been real fascinating. Definitely learned a lot of stuff I didn't just because I've been watching away at Titanic videos just because of this set. So that's what I am loving about a lot of the sets that I'm building lately. I kind of go into a wormhole digging into the history of things while I'm building them. So definitely a good learning experience, to say the least. So clips, okay, so the stop motion filmmaker also did a Lusitania. Okay, so I'll check that out. Yeah, so I imagine Clips Films is saying, yeah, it does take a lot of work to make stop motion, taking pictures, adding special effects. Oh yeah, and the special effects are pretty cool, like when they do like an explosion or like a water splash and they've got the bricks just like spraying everywhere. Yeah, that must be a task to do all that, I'm sure. But yeah, that's very cool. You do the stop motion thing. I'll need to kind of look into the making of a stop motion. Maybe I'll watch that tonight after this. I'll check out a behind the scenes stop motion, so to say. But yeah, the special effects are always pretty cool, you know. And I wonder how they shoot that too, like how they time the kind of explosions with taking the pictures or and all of that. Okay, we're kind of, yeah, again, everything with this set is so angular and curvy, and there are a lot of times where, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, what we're building at the moment, but it always snaps together perfectly, and that's what's going to happen in a couple minutes, because I have no idea where we're at on the ship right now at the moment. The coolest part definitely so far was definitely building that generator that, again, it's already hidden away back there. I don't know if you're not really gonna see it, but it was very cool that kind of built that right out of the get-go there. So Clips Films chiming in. So yeah, he's saying CGI films have dominated stop motion. The stop motion is still alive on the internet in small shows as of now. Yeah, and I imagine that. I definitely can see that with the bigger, I guess maybe blockbuster type, like Lego Movie and all that. I could definitely imagine that. But yeah, no, I'm glad to see that folks are still, that's cool that folks are still doing it the old-fashioned way, I guess, so to say. So that's really cool. I wonder if there's a thing in the stop motion. Would you know, or would you have an input on this? Where are there kind of folks that think that there's no better way than doing it the real way, taking photos and all of that, rather than CGI? I'm sure there are folks who will stand by that the old way is the best way to do it. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some real nice details and curves on the hull. I'm starting to get a little excited here. Oh, so excited that I messed up already here. Okay. With this Titanic, I think the one thing, I think really the only negative in terms of features or interior access, I wish they could have added detail for the bridge. That would have been so cool if we had an actual interior for the bridge. I would have loved that, but you know, can't blame them. They did what they could. The bridge does have, I was looking into putting an interior in the bridge, but there is a lot of structural stuff going on in there. So I don't know, I'm sure someone else has had the same idea, and I might kind of dig in there, kind of like what I did with the Lego Porsche, and trying to see if I could mod it a little bit myself. But yeah, there's a lot of structural stuff in the bridge, but it would have been real nice to have an interior going on in there. But we'll see. I'll take a look in there and see if there's something that can be messed around with. Maybe some things that can be moved and whatnot. And okay, yeah, it's getting. This like stern section is really curvy and kind of intricate in terms of the layers here. So it's definitely going to be more, more curvature than the bow. That's for sure. The bow is kind of just this wedge up in the front, but the stern's got kind of like a wedge underneath the the stern, like the deck kind of extends. So there's a lot of like different curves and angles going on in the sterns, basically what I'm trying to say. So it should be should make for a nice, interesting build. And I think it's the only part of the ship I haven't done, right? Of course, yet, but I think this is gonna be my favorite part. And definitely with what we're doing right now, as you're looking at the instructions, yeah, I haven't seen anything like this yet in the hull, so it's getting a little bit somewhat complicated here, which is a good thing. Okay. So that's really cool. Melbourne, Australia. Thanks again, Clips, for tuning in and chiming in there. I don't know if I was right on the time, but I'm assuming it's something like 10 o'clock in the morning or something over there. I don't know why this reminds me, but one of my I don't know if he's from Melbourne. He's probably not, but one of my favorite Formula One drivers is Daniel Ricciardo. He's an Australian dude. I don't know. He's probably not from Melbourne, but it's the only thing that just jogged my memory there. I was just watching last weekend. They had the Formula One World Championships, so I was definitely dug in that last weekend, and it was quite an insane end to the Formula One season. I don't know if anyone watches that, but pretty crazy. So now that that's over, that's kind of like the only sport I'm really watching these days. So now that that's over, I'm kind of nothing left to do but enjoy the holidays and build some more Lego until the next Formula One season. Okay, and now, so while I was blabbing on there, we finished this next section, and yeah, you can see in the instruction again there, but this kind of just clips on, and yeah, there's some really decent angles going on here, coming together, snapping together real nice though, of course. So wow, beautiful. I say it too much. I know I say it too much, but I'm just stunned about I'm stunned how they get all these. Like, what are they doing, man? How do they get all these angles and curves to snap together so perfectly? I mean, how many hours on like Lego Design Studio or whatever they use to get all of this right? Like, you've got to appreciate that. Like, just we've got kind of this curve going on. We've got this one up here. We've got a straight section here, and it's all molding together so nicely. This thing, wow, beautiful. Okay, so I think we're moving on to the other side, but yeah, this is looking really nice. I'm appreciating that right now for sure. Yeah, and this part wasn't actually that not too bad to put together. I think like this section of the hole right here, like these sections were just tedious. All of those little portholes, and again, they didn't just do normal kind of bricks with the side studs on it. They really layered these portholes up. Like, they put a lot more detail in the portholes than you think they would. If you were tuned in like 10 minutes ago, you would have seen that. Like, so it's mad respect. And I'm sure I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but the lead designer, Mike Siaki, or I think that's how it is, PSI, but he did the Porsche 911, which is kind of right there. Can I move up? Nope, you won't be able to see it. It's the bottom of my bookshelf, but yeah, he did the 911, which I'm in love with. That 911 is kind of, I think I haven't, other than Titanic, I think the 911 is my favorite set, my other favorite set of 2021 for sure. But kudos to him, man. What a great designer. Okay, we're having deja vu moments here because we're doing this again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the AT-AT in person, but I was mentioning on another live stream, I saw that thing on display, and of course they put it like right next to the Titanic, and it just overshadowed the Titanic so much, like it could just stomp on the Titanic. That thing is a huge set indeed, and I'm looking forward to see more of those around. Okay, let's cover up the other side of this short section here. And I really wish that kind of this third bag we could really see the whole stern, because this is definitely, we're just breaking the ice. I'm assuming the actual length of box 3 is more than twice this. Like, I think it's gonna go out to like here. So it's just amazing how this thing keeps going. It just keeps growing and growing. If anyone is interested in seeing a particular detail on what I've built so far on the Titanic, please feel free to shout out. I would gladly take the model out here and show anyone around if anyone hasn't seen or wants to see something on the built portion here. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, it was kind of a hard pill for me to swallow in terms of the cost of this particular set, but having built what I've built and knowing what's left to build of it, yeah, it was definitely worth it. So definitely, if y'all are considering it, I would say just bite the bullet and do it. This one is definitely worth. It's definitely worth your pennies for sure. I'm kind of calling it the best of all time. And I hate saying things like that because you're really making a statement. But so far, yeah, I mean this one is hard to beat. This one is definitely hard to beat, especially if you're kind of into vehicles, transportation, history, things like that. For me, for the Lego, I definitely like the Lego sets that are in tune with things that are in real life. So again, like a lot of the car stuff, especially, I love because I love cars in real life. So when they come out in Lego, I'm jumping in line for those. But then something like Titanic that's been out in the real world. A lot of the architecture sets, honestly, I am kind of a sucker for those too. So I am kind of drawn to a lot of the sets that are based off of real life objects, but just in general, I mean, this thing is on another level. It's great. Okay, we're kind of getting there. Like, I'm pretty surprised that we've been closing up the hull early on with this thing. Okay. We're almost bagged. I think we've got like 3 bags down so far, I want to say. Oh, I missed a lot here. Okay. So okay, so we've got another tidbit of information up here on the top right of the screen. So, Titanic was 400 miles from land when she struck the iceberg. Yeah, it seems so close, but yet so far, right? When she struck the iceberg, there was another ship called the Californian. And she was just about maybe under 20 miles away from the Titanic. But the night of the sinking, when before Titanic had let out her distress call, she was getting warning messages from the Californian about ice, and at the time, the operator on the Titanic was really busy trying to catch up on getting a lot of messages out. And so essentially he told the operator of the Californian to shut up. Basically, shut up, I'm working, something along those lines. So it's the Californian, they took it, okay, well, I'll go ahead, turn off the radio for the day. So basically the Californian was about 19-20 miles away, but had its radio off, so could not pick up on the distress calls from the Titanic. And if you want to hear something even worse, the Titanic shot flares up as well, which apparently the crew of the Californian saw from where they were at. So they woke up the captain, told the captain, hey, we see flares going off, ship in the distance. So the captain of the Californian kind of instructs them to communicate visually back to the Titanic. I think flashing lights at the Titanic. So they start doing that, but the Titanic doesn't respond because, of course, they're sinking, so they're dealing with their own stuff. But the crew of the Californian, the captain doesn't think to check or turn on the radio. I guess it wasn't a standard procedure thing back then. Radios were still kind of new, and ships have been going without them for centuries without them. So anyway, so the captain of the Californian, didn't really think to turn on the radio and see if there's any kind of distress call. So they kind of packed it in and kept going about their way, even though they were basically within sight of the Titanic. Another thing which is crazy is that a lot of people on the Titanic said that they saw a ship in the vicinity, which was not the Californian, but that ship ended up steaming away. And I guess the notion is, people thought that maybe that was an illegal, maybe whaling ship or a ship doing something they weren't supposed to be doing out at sea, and didn't really want to be found out, so they they didn't come to aid the Titanic either. But it's crazy, when you're again, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading quite a lot about this boat here. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how much that night, really how much that voyage as a whole was just filled with irony. Kind of like with the story with the radio and the Californian only being like 20 miles away. Another piece of irony, which is kind of like a positive for the Titanic, is that during the voyage of the Titanic, the radio actually went out. So the operators of it was called a Marconi, like the radio system. So the Marconi operators, the radio went out during the voyage. The procedure was for the operators are not supposed to repair that system by any means. They're not allowed to touch it. If it goes off, if it breaks, then you use the emergency, which didn't give you nearly as much range. But you were supposed to wait until you reached port to have a technician go and fix that radio. But the radio operators decided to go ahead and fix it themselves anyway, not knowing that they were going to sink later, and by fixing it when they weren't supposed to, they probably saved a lot of lives by doing that, because they would have had to operate off their emergency radio, which wouldn't have nearly had the range that the radio that they fixed did. So there's another piece of irony for you, but something that worked a bit in favor of the Titanic. The lifeboats, okay, going to another thing. Yeah, so the lifeboats, which they actually mentioned at the beginning of this manual. The lifeboats, only 20 on the Titanic. The Lego model actually has 18. And when you ever see a review on this Lego Titanic, they're gonna say 18. I'm sorry, they're gonna say 16, because you kind of build 16 of these type of lifeboats. But what I've not seen yet in any Lego review of this Titanic is that this piece up here is also a lifeboat. It's a representation of a lifeboat. So everyone's kind of just calling these lifeboats, and they say that the set has 16. It really has 18. These are also meant to be lifeboats. So I've not seen a reviewer call that out yet. So yeah, that was that's kind of funny to me. Um, it's kind of one of those things I'm trying to find, like, if someone's gonna like call it out. But anyway, so 20 lifeboats on the real Titanic. The idea there was that at that time, any ship over XX amount of tons had to have 20 lifeboats. But basically, at the time that Olympus and Titanic were built, these ships were getting so huge, like they were getting exponentially huge as time went. And the rules, the guidelines, the standards that were in place for lifeboats by the time that Titanic and Olympic were being built were so outdated for the ships, the size of ships that were being built at that time. So the designer, not Andrews, but the one of the other original designers of the Titanic, was pressing to have the correct number of lifeboats. I think it was 40 something. Was considered an adequate number. But Harland and Wolff, which was the shipbuilder, and I think the White Star Line itself, they didn't want a I guess a substantial number of lifeboats because they wanted more deck space. For the upper class, it was a luxurious ship, and they didn't want to convey the image of the ship being unsafe. Like if you're on a ship that's not supposed to sink and you've got a deck that's full of lifeboats, right? It's not going to give it's not relaying a consistent message there, right? So they basically said, well, the ordinance or the regulations are 20, so we're going to put 20. So that was that. So not to say that still doesn't happen to to this day, right? But okay, we're getting some upper class fanciness going on here because we're back to the the nice mosaic tiles up here. I don't know what area this is supposed to be at this section of the ship, but maybe it'll make sense once we put some furniture in here what this is going to be. But so far, I haven't seen. We got a couple nice rooms, but mostly it looks like third class rooms at the bottom, and it's really cool how they delineated on each section of the ship. You can definitely see stylistically the different classes of staterooms that are on the ship. They definitely give a lot of decoration on a micro scale to the nicer rooms, and they make these third class and also staff accommodations really bland. So it's really crazy how they're able to convey that in Lego form, basically. So again, kudos, man. This whole set, I shouldn't even be surprised. Shouldn't be surprised anymore, really, at all that's going on here, all the detail. Okay, one thing. Okay, I just said that, right? I know I just said that, but one thing I do wish they could convey better, if possible, is the grand staircase. So there is detail, pretty commendable amount of detail for the grand staircases, but kind of wish they would have done a little bit more to show the grandeur of it. I don't know how to say it. But I know what they've done already was probably, pretty much the most they can do, so I need to stop complaining. Oh yeah, that and the bridge. It would have been cool if we had a bridge in here, like an actual interior of the bridge, but that's it. I'll shut my mouth on those like really minor complaints. Okay, but yeah, this room's looking good. It was tedious to build, kind of just like in true in true shipbuilding fashion, like these first class, really complicated rooms take a long time to build because you're putting all those individual mosaic tiles, and it's kind of funny because it kind of goes into like the craftsmen that were making these interiors of the Titanic. They spent thousands and thousands of hours like carving these intricate wood details on railings, laying all these tile, like the tile out, arranging them, and oh man, crafting everything in the interior for these first class passengers. So you kind of get that, you kind of get a little bit of that feeling too when you're building this Lego set. You're really spending a lot of time with these nicer sections of the ship, putting all these tiles and little bits of tables and furniture in, versus kind of the lower class where it's kind of just like one, you know, like a big 2x2 tiles, plain Jane, like tan tiles with some white walls, and slap a bed in there and you're done. So you kind of get that little ironic, you know, you kind of get that feeling to building the ship to be nicer for those first class passengers, just like real life. One thing that I'm really ready to see here for the stern, which I don't know if we'll get to it because we're building the front half, but I do want to see the docking bridge, which is kind of like the bridge on the stern of the ship there. It's got a cool little platform. I think you build, I might be wrong on this, but you might build a wheel back there too. I don't know, but I definitely want to see that really cool bridge out there on the stern. But we'll see when we get there. Again, I'm gonna say right out, even before building it, I'm gonna say that that the stern section is gonna be my favorite. It's looking real nice and curvy and intricate, and you know, more complicated than the other sections of the ship. I think I'll say that. So I think it's gonna be the most interesting visually and building wise, but definitely visually. I think this is going to be the most interesting portion of the ship. I can't wait to put that Union Jack at the back of the ship too, and I also can't wait to see that Titanic name on the back of the ship there with the Liverpool underneath it. That's going to be cool. The prints too on this model are really nice. They've got really crisp lettering on the font there, and that gold font. And I know it's not, you know, Lego didn't necessarily pick the colors, right? But that, you know, that kind of gold on the gold bronze on the black paint looks really good. So, but Lego definitely executed it really nice. So kudos to them all around. This is just like 9.8 out of 10. This is so great. Okay, I think we've covered everything here. I think I've got all the pieces. So let's move on. I do like that we're getting up to the higher portions of the ship here too. So when I was talking about the portholes, I was actually thinking that like these pieces would be the portholes. Like that's all you had to do, like these tan pieces with the side stud on the side. Like I feel like they could have gotten away with just making somehow the portholes in that fashion, but no, they went very intricate with the portholes. So mad ups to them on that. But yeah, anyone out there, I want to know, is anyone looking at this set? Is anyone on the fence on the set? Is anyone getting the set for Christmas or getting the set for tax return season? Also, in terms of the big sets, what do y'all think? You know, what takes the cake for you? Where does the Titanic sit? I mean, look, we've even got the stadiums, right? Those aren't the gigantic sets, but those are pretty big too. You know, you've got the stadiums, you've got Coliseum, you've got the UCS sets, you've got the new UCS ET-AT out, the Death Star, the Destroyers, the Millennium Falcons. Which set is taking the cake for you in terms of big sets? So this kind of portion we're doing here, definitely not a fan, because I've had to do this like 20 times now, and these are so like really tedious little pieces to put things to put together. But they go like, basically they run along the whole side of the ship, so you're definitely doing a lot of these. And kind of how they wrote the instructions there, they're a little bit hard to follow. They kind of lumped everything there in that one step, but yeah, get a little bit of double vision here through this step. And the thing is, you've had to do this so many times in the set, so they could have made this maybe separated out a little bit for me. I'm not that like smart to begin with, so they could have dumbed this down a little bit. But okay, thank goodness. Got one more of these to go. One more. We're almost at the finish line with this with this little thing here. Ooh, okay, got that done. Jeez. Alright. I need a break. Need some water for that. Okay, I was like full concentration right there. Full concentration right there. Okay. I don't like those parts. But when they are put together, they look really good. They look really good. And let's go ahead and stick these on the sides now. Good gracious. So tedious. But I do like that they break up, you know, they break up the tedious parts. You know, they give you a little break. They kind of they sidetrack you here and there to keep you to keep the interest going for sure. So I'm just joking, you know. It's It's not that bad at all, really. It's kind of like all that step just to put like these little details in. Like it didn't really... it wasn't that substantial amount of space. And we've got more. Oh gracious. Alright, let's do this. Good thing is we only got 2 of these, so... And I don't know why they made these on a blue... Oh, they're longer, that's why. Okay. Jeez, I get so confused. It's like way too many things stacked on each other. For my attention span, that is. But I think we got it. I think we've got it. And again, thank goodness we only got 2 of these, so... 1 down, and it fits perfectly. Okay. Oh! Oh geez, I dropped one. Okay, good thing it was right there. Yeah, I wonder if the next bag, if we're going to be getting into some of the deck. I want to see if we're going to cover this baby up. I do want to see if maybe the next bag or so we'll start covering up, because we're getting pretty high already. I know that when by the time we're doing these kind of windows up top, that we're pretty much at the top. So full focus here. Oh boy, don't mess this up. I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. Fits perfectly. All right. Okay, so that took a while, but you know, oh boy. This might be, we might be at A deck already, and it's hard for me to count the decks because we've got this big engine room here, but I think we might be at A deck. I think we might be capping off with the proper deck here. So let's see what goes on the next one. No, not yet. Not quite. God. Okay, we've still got a little while to go, but we're getting to the top, guys. We're getting to the top. On to bag 33. And it's, I think, kind of a small one. I only see the 1 bag so far. Let's see if that's true. One bag with a lot of small pieces. Oh god. Help me out here. It's okay though, it's okay. And I think we just have 1 bag for 33, so let's keep moving. Yeah, this section, they really have you start with a really short section here. So of all the sections, this is definitely, we're getting from bottom to top. Definitely faster than any of the other boxes so far. And honestly, I think the last section of this box is like more than, I would say, this might be, it's gonna be longer than this. I don't want, maybe twice as long, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. kind of doing some weird stuff up here. What's going on? Okay. Okay, I don't know what this is for, what the little clips are for, but yeah, we'll find out. And I definitely missed something. Yeah, I did. Okay, I think we're back on track. Yeah, so this bag, we're not quite at the deck yet. I'm gonna call, at this rate, I'm gonna call next bag we're gonna get to the deck, the upper deck. Calling it. We'll see. Oh, more tiles, so we were not at A deck. More tiles, and again, it's going back to that they're making you work like they had back in the day, putting all these details in the higher class accommodations. You get to relive the experience of super detailed interior work here for our upper class patrons on the ship. But it looks really good. I do have to say, I think my favorite kind of first class accommodation room, so to say, I'd probably have to give it to the smoking lounge. I guess that the gentleman's only club area. I do like the color scheme they had in there. They had the mahogany going in there, real nice and classy over there. And that was kind of pretty much towards the bow, where the bow meets the middle portion of the ship. But yeah, I realized also we've done the generator, but we haven't built the engines yet. So I wonder where that comes into play. I wonder if they might have you build that last, because you can kind of just slide them in whenever. So they might send you off with the engine. But I was kind of also hoping we would get to see some of the engine build, but that might not be till the end. Okay, I'm getting confused. See, I'm seeing too many doubles with all these little tiles and everything here. Right. Okay. I feel it coming. I feel like we're getting to the top. Feel like we're getting to the top. I think we're putting kind of the cross bracing in for the deck here. Okay, got some little gold gold elements going on. Are we going to see a little bit of grand staircase in the back too? Because there were 2 grand staircases. There wasn't just the one on Titanic. There wasn't just the one from Cameron's movie, The Titanic. So we might be seeing the second one here. Let's see. Or did we already do that? Oh yeah, we're building her up, all right. I'm calling it. I'm calling the next bag. We're at the top. I'm gonna be so wrong. All right. Oh boy, what more is there? Okay. So we've got to build 4 of these little detailed things here. It's 1. I get like really like radio silent when I do these kind of little like the really tedious little things. Always full concentration for me. I am really looking forward to build that that little mini slave one that I picked up. I had no idea that they had one of those. The scale is okay. It's like a little really mini version of Boba Fett's starship. Bubba. But they got like the proportions and kind of the curvature and you know, the general shape of the thing pretty good. So definitely want to get that thing going too. I might actually do that this weekend. Maybe I'll do something tomorrow and build that thing. But yeah, definitely wish I got the UCS one, the UCS slave one. That thing was always a really good looking ship, and I kind of just let it pass. Wasn't really looking out for it, and of course, you know, that came and went a couple years ago, so hey, I missed out on it. And now they're like $600 on eBay now, where they used to be $200 at the store. So I don't think I'll be having a UCS slave one anytime soon, but oh well. I have my gigantic Titanic to keep me happy, so. Whew, almost there. Okay, tapped out on that one. Ooh boy, okay. Now we've just got to attach these little water spout things to them. But she's looking good. I think we built her up pretty decently. I mean, I would have to say so. Yeah, I'm actually surprised we've even got this high. I usually, I think for the Titanic on these streams, I haven't made it past like the bottom hull for a lot of these builds so far. Okay, so I was right. The next bag 34, and we'll see if we get past this bag. But yeah, we're getting toward to kind of filling in the deck already. And I believe this section has a smokestack in it, but not yet at this bag. We'll see. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of that beautiful wood at the top. And yeah, we'll see if we make it past this bag. Might cut it off after this bag. Give one last recap and catch you guys back at the final part of the build. But let's see, might have some energy left after this bag and keep going, but we'll play it by ear. But I'm glad that we're actually getting a little bit of the top deck here, so I can rest happy with that. I can feel accomplished with that today. Yeah, we're getting a lot of this kind of planking on. Some good support. Okay, there's a lot going on. This one step has got me cross-eyed here, but we'll manage. But I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, I am pretty stoked. We're at the getting to the top here. But yeah, this seems kind of a kind of a lot for one step. But we'll manage. We will certainly manage. I'm getting scared though. This thing is growing kind of wild here. Don't really know now at this point where this thing can possibly fit in the house. I'm thinking of nowhere at the moment. Getting a little bit intimidated here. She's gonna need somewhere to go. And yeah, I'm not really a fan of this particular step. I think they for me maybe a few too many tiles here for one step. I'm a little bit slower than the rest of you guys, so getting cross-eyed looking at all of these tiles. But I think I'm just not as I'm not fully there like you guys. I think that might be the problem. But we're gonna manage. If I get all of these laid down correctly, I will be very proud of myself, gotta say. But it is looking good. I mean, I keep looking back at this finished portion, even this part here. And geez, I mean the colors are really great. I love the yellow stripe between the black and the white. Love that yellow stripe. Very subtle. Does add a really nice level of pop to the ship. And a lot of them were decked out that way. You know, a lot of them back in the day, they did have that gold, or I'm sorry, gold, but the black or painted hull. You know, a lot of these were coal ships, right? So when they're loading up on the coal at the side of the ship, a lot of that coal really streaked down the side of that ship. So you didn't want to have a crisp white painted hull because it was going to get dirty. It was going to turn black real quick with that coal loading. So yeah, so that's why, you know, you see a lot of them back in the day were all painted kind of in the same yeah, kind of that same black at the bottom. So yeah, this one step taking forever. They got real ambitious with this one, with this step. Real ambitious. And it's funny because like you have a step like this, it's got like 90 pieces in it, and then you've got other steps that have like 3 or 4 pieces, like 3 or 4 really big pieces. And you're kind of like, okay. So I wonder what the you know, what the methodology is there with that. Yeah, but she's looking real nice though, guys. She's looking real good right now. Definitely like that look all buttoned up at the top. Getting that, like, you know, that no stud design up at the top, nice and sleek. And I think that's it. I think, guys, I think I've got it to the T here. I think we've covered it. Wait, nope, missing a blue piece. But I think I think we did okay. We survived it. So let's move along. See, and then you've got stuff like this where you've got 4 pieces. And then that's it. So that step made up for the last step. Okay, so now we've got more tiles going in. Okay, looking good. Hey man, she's looking good. She's looking, I'm getting excited because we are covering her up, putting the finishing touches on her. And I already see some benches about to go into these little kind of like brown hinge pieces. So I'm assuming we're gonna have some nice benches up here. Get the last smokestack in. And I think we've got lifeboats in this section too, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, looking good. I guess we're gonna put some railing in. Yeah, we've got some railing pieces in. Capping it off really nicely there. Okay, looking good. You can see that at the looking real nice up top. And we've got another cover over the rear, the stern grand staircase here. Okay. Looking real good. We've got a skylight over over one of the grand staircases. Oh, looking good. Okay, and like I said, we do have some benches going in, so check out how that gets done. That's pretty cool. And it's kind of like a really, I know you're not going to be able to see it on camera, but it's like a really subtle like way they come together, but then when you slap them onto the deck, they make so much sense. They're built, the benches are basically built completely sideways, so so, man, a lot of ingenious things that they've done on this build. It's so crazy. And we're building a smokestack. Okay. You know what? I might have to get the smokestack in. And we've got the smokestack and we've got lifeboats. Oh man. I'm getting like to that tired point, but I feel like we've got to do this. We've got to get a smokestack going, right? Yeah, we've got to get one more. I hope this thing doesn't fall. Okay, we're not gonna fall. Okay, I think we might have to do this. Okay, back 35. Smokestack bag. Yeah, I couldn't end it short of doing this cool build, so we'll get through this one too, and then we'll see how we feel. Okay, let's do it. Smokestack time. Because I do want to show you this. I don't think I've covered like a smokestack in the previous boxes before, so it is pretty cool how they come together. Like we've done 3 already, but they basically are connected by Technic pins because they're at an angle. So they did a really cool method of fixing them to the rest of the ship here. Can I build it up here? Okay. so I think. Okay, yeah, we're moving through. I was in full concentration mode there. Boy, she's getting there. Oh. We got it though. Okay, so yeah, we've got some railing down. We got the base for the smokestack there. Looking okay, not too bad. Or this, I keep calling it smokestack, but I should be calling it a funnel. And speaking of which, the fourth funnel here was, I don't want to call it a dud, but it wasn't actually a functioning funnel in the sense that it vented out any of the engine or boiler room. So the fourth funnel was originally placed here just for the aesthetics, and aesthetics meaning that their competitors had ships, you know, it was kind of like the more smokestacks, well, more bragging rights. That's kind of how it was back then. So that's basically how it was. So Titanic really only needed 3 with the boiler and engine configuration that it had, but they gave it 4 just to kind of one up everybody else. But this fourth one that we're building here, it did, you know, it did have a purpose. It did vent some, you know, it did vent some air from the interior, like from the smoking rooms and you know, various things and whatnot. But so it wasn't completely a dud, but in the sense of its original intent, it was sort of a faux funnel, let's say. So yeah, it wasn't a functioning funnel. So when the thing would be steaming away, you would see the steam coming out of the other 3 funnels, but not this one. Totally just there for looks. There were actually, you know, people back in the day as well. You know, they'd see a ship with, you know, only a few smokestacks, and they wouldn't want to get on it. If you saw a ship with 4 smokestacks, that's like the cream of the crop right there. And I'm sorry I keep calling it smokestacks. I do mean funnels. But yeah, you see a ship with 4 funnels, you know, that's you're likely to want to ride that one. So it's a cool little tidbit about this 4th funnel here. And I wonder if Lego's gonna mention about this this kind of fake funnel as well. We'll see. I know as much research as they did going into this, they probably, you know, they probably knew about it already. So I wonder if they're gonna include that in the manual. And I don't like that these strings you have to take out of the tape. They really could have just well thrown it in the bag with all the rest of the parts and not have to put the string in all of this tape because they're really a hassle to get out. All right. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty cool how the strings kind of get built into the funnel. Just gonna cap it off here. I think we're gonna go ahead and put it down now. Yeah. Check it out. So basically we've got the 4 Technic pins, the orange and the green here, and we're just gonna, you've got the 2 holes for the Technics right here at the bottom, so you just throw them in there. And I think the front, yeah, the front is the orange. And I think I'm stuck somewhere. Because maybe I'm in reverse. Nope. And I don't know what's going on, it might be late. But I'm totally struggling with this last smokestack right now. It's not working for me right now. It's not working out. I must have I definitely did something wrong here, guys. Oh, never mind, we got it. I just kind of had to force it down there. So, forced it down there, pushed the pins in, and we have got a smokestack. Nice and tilted to match the first 3. We're gonna slap this on here, and I think we're gonna build some lifeboats and call it a night. Throw this up here, and we've got some tidbits of information, and I think this is what I was just talking about. The Titanic had 4 funnels, though only 3 were functional. Yeah, they did cover that. And the last one was a dummy installed for aesthetic purposes. So yep, they caught it. Of course they caught it. So again, like we were saying, this last funnel here is purely for bragging rights. That's exactly what it was. So there we go. Look at that, guys, in all her glory. And I'm liking this section already better than this section because you see we've got kind of a sloped, a lot of different, angles starting to happen here. So we've got this last smokestack. Looking good. She's looking good. Let's go ahead, finish up these lifeboats here, and let's wrap it up for the night. I'll do a little brief rundown for you too before I go. I do like the lifeboat builds. They're actually fairly simple. The little, I guess I'll call them cranes that hold them down, are a pretty simple build too, but effective. So I do definitely like how they did that. They're not too tedious to put together. So yeah, really cool. You can kind of see some of the cranes up here. And I think we've got 4. I'm only seeing 4 lifeboats here, but I thought we had like 6 more to go, but we'll find out. So we've got one. You kind of see the cute little lifeboat here. It's simple but effective. And I mean, yeah, it's enough to know that it's a lifeboat, but also not too tedious to build. But it's definitely an effective, nice little lifeboat build. They don't take. They're not quite as tedious as the portholes to build, that's for sure, or the hull. So these are actually these are actually kind of fun to put together. I don't know why, but the lifeboats they're actually kind of fun to put together. I don't know what it is about them. Oops, I'm missing the tops for these too. Yeah, and it tells me here I'm supposed to build 4, but I feel like we've got 2 that are going to come later at the back here, because I'm pretty certain that we have 6 more to build total. Looking good, like looking really nice and finished up there. Look at that, really cool. I actually can't believe we built kind of a whole section from bottom to top. I don't think I've covered, you know, like all the way from the hull to the top of the ship and the Titanic live builds yet before. So I'm excited that it is actually pretty cool that they gave us this little tiny section to start off box 3, so that we could actually make it the whole way up the hull, even all the way up to the top of the smokestack. So that's pretty cool of them. And we're getting towards the end here for tonight, guys. So I'll give you a rundown of what we've got. I'm gonna see if we can tack. I'm gonna see if we could tack this on to the rest of the ship as it is, because I'm really curious. So got the last little lifeboat. And yeah, she's looking good. So the last portion, and unfortunately we will get to that at a later time. I will do one more live video to cover up kind of the wrapping up the ship. But yeah, the last part is the stern, and I think it's a little bit longer than this yeah, it's gonna be longer than this section that we just built. But I'm actually really happy today, because we've got a section of the Titanic in one stream, built all the way from the bottom to the top. So I'm really excited about that. So this portion here is the back, so it's unfinished. It's going to continue to the rest of the stern. We do have some details here in the engines that we haven't done here. But we've got a lot of course detail in these decks going up. We've got the top deck here with some benches. That was a really cool build here, and these the sunlight, I guess, I can't think of it right now, but for the grand staircase. And we've got a couple lifeboats, and to top it off, we've got the last funnel, the dud, which was the 4th funnel here. And I'm already forgetting, at the beginning of this build we did a little, you can see it here, the little electric generator that is going to be closed up, sealed, and forgotten about. So wow, we you know, kind of breezed through it here. Maybe not breezed, it was a couple hours, but wow, this is cool. We got this far. We've got this far. We did a proper section of Titanic in one stream. So one thing I want to do this for you. All right, let's see how long this Titanic is getting. So let's just bust it out. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but let's bring it up. I think we can hang it kind of on the edge of the table a little bit. The center, okay, now it's gonna fall to the front, so I'm gonna hold it. But we are, okay, I can get it from the back here. Wow, look at that. Pretty cool. So, she's getting really long, and goodness. Look at that. So here's me for scale. This thing's really cool, and we've still got a pretty long part of the stern to go to wrap this thing up. So I am excited, guys. We're getting there. I want to lift it up so you can see the whole thing, but this is okay. It's definitely gonna get dropped, but I hope not. Let's see. So actually, let's take the. Should have taken the PDF capture off here for you. There you go. We can see her now in all her glory. Look at. So she's already at the point where she's not covering. The frame is not able to cover it. There you go. But look at that. So here's me for scale, and yeah, she's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to get the stern going. I'm gonna start it, a little bit of it tonight, I'm sure, but I'll be sure to catch up with you guys while I wrap up this Titanic. Maybe give you one final look at it. But I'm glad we got to do a whole section from bottom to top. That was really cool. I'm glad we got to cover that in one video. But here's a. We're gonna get real risky here. Get real risky. I'm real nervous right now. But she's surprisingly sturdy, especially when you have the pins in. It's just this new last section that's not pinned in yet that I'm worried about. But look at the really cool detail there. All the lifeboats we've got. I think we've just got 2 more lifeboats to build. Check out the bow here. The bow, I mean. The bow. So real majestic. But again, this middle portion was a little bit boring, but now getting towards the back here, we're getting towards some really nice angles, and it's starting to get interesting again. This middle section here, where my pinky's at, that was a little bit boring, but we're getting interesting now. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this baby back down. One more shot for scale for you guys. Oh my goodness, this thing is crazy. So let's put her down. Take this last section off. All right. So that's it, guys. That is the start of bag 3 for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm getting winded, tired, and I'm calling it a night. Hope you guys are having a good night. Good start to the weekend. Those of you guys may be on holiday already. I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday vacation already. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is getting really cool. I'll catch you with one more video towards the end of this build, and we'll do a recap on everything we've got here in this awesome Lego Titanic. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good night. I will see you all on the next one. Take care. See ya.